After being banned in French schools, religious symbols could now be banned in universities. France's High Council for Integration is calling for students to remove their headscarves, skullcaps and crucifixes in a bid to reduce tensions that some say are compromising the country's secular values. The Muslim community has seen the proposals as an attack on their religious freedom. She wears it wrapped around her neck to cover her hair, out of respect for Allah. But wearing the Islamic headscarf could soon become a thing of the past for Saida if plans to ban religious symbols in universities go ahead.
To choose your religion is a fundamental right, so I don't see why I will have to go against this fundamental right to wear my hijab or to practice my religion and in the same time to benefit from education.
A report by the High Council for Integration claims that religion is getting in the way of teaching, as a growing number of students are asking to miss lectures or refusing to follow certain courses because they don't comply with their beliefs.
When you train for a career in the civil service, you have to be aware of the principles of the job you're going into. Otherwise, you're being a hypocrite to students by not telling them the truth. And personally, what bothers me is that some students are not recruited later on because they weren't warned of the obligations linked to their future job. For me, this form of secularity avoids discrimination. It's there to allow all students to be able to work in the public service, so that the state reflects the diversity of the entire nation.
The product of France's separation of church and state, secularism prevents civil servants from wearing items such as headscarves and skullcaps in the workplace. Its defenders argue universities should also be religion-free. Not everyone, though, agrees.
Secularism is the neutrality of the state. The state's obliged to be neutral, but I as a citizen am not obliged to be neutral. I can display my faith. What could be problematic was if I were to impose my religion on others. Does that mean that from now on, every time I show I'm a Muslim or a Jew, I'm imposing my religion? Well, then it should be known that the French state does not accept any religion.
Meant to ensure that all faiths live in harmony, secularism may be aggravating tensions. A ban on full-face veils 2 years ago is still causing controversy, and the number of anti-Muslim attacks has increased by 28%.
I fear that by multiplying initiatives that suppress individual liberties and which contribute to restricting the religious freedom of some of our compatriots, it could lead people to think that France is becoming more and more intolerant.
The High Council for Integration has defended plans to extend the ban on religious symbols in schools to universities, arguing that impartiality is the best way to ensure diversity. But denying students their religious identity may strengthen it even more.
In France, my friends have trouble understanding why I have a religion and why I have a strong religious identity, and they have trouble understanding why I need to express this.
The current tensions are a symptom of the uneasy marriage between secularism and religious diversity, which is seen by many as challenging the country's sense of national identity. Growing sectarian demands by some university students has caused concern that France's secular model may be under threat, but plans to ban religious symbols in universities to safeguard the state's neutrality may have the inverse effect, as students cling more strongly to their religious identity to express their freedom. I'm Christina Okello for JN1 in Paris.